Another transfer to wrap up the transfer talk, potential transfer, one of our other star players, key players, one of the, if not the biggest star in all of Nigerian football. Of course, Victor Osimhen. Non-stop transfer talk around Victor Osimhen. But according to Fabrizio Romano, the latest reports that we've heard is that teams in England are hesitant to sign Victor Osimhen because of his high wage demands. He wants to earn the 12 million net that he is currently earning at Napoli slash Galatasaray. And right now, the only team that is confirmed to be ready to pay him that amount or even beyond that amount is Al Hilal of Saudi that have come back again to say what's up. Smilai, two-part question. Is there any reason why Osimhen should lower his wage demands to get a move to England or otherwise? That's the first part. And the second part, if none of those teams is ready to pay him what he's asking for, should he go to Saudi?
So let me tell you something. You cannot blame the EPL clubs for saying that they cannot lower because they have this strict wage structure. For example, now, if he's number one choice for Ruben Amorim, but the existing wage structure, after the mistake of Casemiro and another mistake they don't make, they are signing players on low wages now. They don't want to break that wage structure. Players like Kobe Manu, they are on peanuts. Players like Yenajuru, they are on peanuts. So they don't want to break that structure. You want to cost rank the dressing room. You want a dressing room, a more sensitive dressing room. They will not want to blame that. For example, now, how much is Eucharist asking? How much are you going to pay the lab? So that's why you see them going for that probably what saver option. So you don't blame them. The same thing with Chelsea too. The same thing with some other big clubs too in the Premier League. Even Newcastle might probably want to pay him more, close to what is actually what currently earning Napoli. But it's just that is the way it is. After the European Super League failed, there's no more money coming in. So people don't want to gamble. They just want to be strict with their wage structure. They don't overspend because if they overspend, it's a big problem for them. Look at what Messi put Barcelona into. So no no club want to sign a player under this big bogus wage again. Everybody want to really stay under that structured this thing. So for him to lower his wage, see what I also know basically is this: Saudi Arabia will be there all the time. But it's going to be sad if Victor Osimhen end this beautiful career without playing Spain or England. Because I don't see a way back from him from Saudi Arabia. When we started to talk again. So if he can just sacrifice 1 year or two, but football, nobody knows tomorrow. Football can change you. Well, it can be, look at Gitoba now. Gitoba. So for me, I just think that you look at these things very well. I also pray hard to know that money they play for money, but it'll be so good to end. No, to I don't say to end though, because he just started his career to play this thing so that it can actually be a glamorous for him. Yeah.
Okay, let me answer the question that I asked. Now, the whole conversation about lowering wages. I remember speaking about this last year, and some people said, "Oh, me, I'm talking bad about Osimhen, blah blah blah." I don't mean to. I love Victor Osimhen. I'm excited. I'm happy for him and what he's doing and how he's putting Nigerian players on the map. The only thing is that the demands that he has, they are high. By all standards, his demands are high. Osimhen is asking for 12 million net. And if we calculate that, it comes to about 500,000 a week based on the wage structure in the UK. If any pays Victor Osimhen 500,000 pounds per week, automatically he becomes the second highest paid player in England, behind only Erling Haaland. It means that he'll be earning more money than Kevin De Bruyne, who is on 400. He'll be earning more money than Mohamed Salah, who just signed a contract that took him to 400. Earning more money than Virgil van Dijk, than Bruno Fernandes, than even the overpaid ones, the Mason Mounts, the Kai Havertz, you know, Rhys James, Odegaard, all those other ones, the Jack Grealishes of this world. The Miro, who won everything at Real Madrid, is on 350. So while I love our boy, love him so much, I think he deserves whatever he feels like he deserves. If truly he wants to play at that level, I think he's going to have to compromise. Because it's not even just the English clubs. The clubs across Europe are hesitant to pay him that kind of money. Not because they don't think he's a good player, but because teams have changed their wage structures. A lot of teams now want to give players incentives to earn their money rather than just giving them upfront a big wad of cash and then the player doesn't deliver. There's also financial fair play that is hitting a lot of the big clubs that usually spend money. So teams are being more cautious. They are spreading payments out over a long period of time to just try to balance the books as much as possible. I tell him to lower his wage demands. No, because if I say this is my pay and Smith Lai comes and tell me IoT reduce your pay by $1,000, even me I'll be like, guy, not be me, they do the work. This is how much I feel like my value is worth. But again, for me, it's just a case of how much does he actually want to achieve that dream of playing at that level versus making as much money as he can make. If he truly, truly believes that his agents can negotiate and push it enough that they would eventually give and pay him what he wants to earn, fine, it's negotiation. Give himself the best shots to get what he actually wants. But it is just something that for me, when I look at the fact that you want to come and be the second highest paid player in the league, most players don't get that kind of money until they've either played many years and been successful in the league. The likes of Mo Salah has dominated the Premier League for how many years and is only on 400k. Somebody like a Kevin De Bruyne has dominated and been the best player in the Premier League for how many years? Erling Haaland, yes, he came, but Erling Haaland, his goal output is incredible. And as much as Osimhen scores, Haaland scores more playing in the tougher division. So I agree that Osimhen is a fantastic, one of the best in the world, but his output has not yet matched that. Casemiro has won everything before coming there. Virgil van Dijk, we know how good, one of the best defenders in the world, for him to get to where he is today. Bruno Fernandes, carrying the whole United on his back, the only good player in United, has still not reached there. Tough. It's really just tough. I think Osimhen is probably going to maybe anything less than 300k, then I'll say, okay, now you guys are under, you're lowballing him. But at the end of the day, he's the one that chooses what he deserves. I say 300, 300, 350. I can say, okay, yes, they should offer him something like that. But that 500k that he's looking for in a year is a very, very big thing. Any club that is going to pay him that money, they have to have the utmost belief in him. Utmost belief in him. And that's the reason why a lot of clubs are now talking about some of these strikers that we know are not as good as Osimhen. Talking about Liam Delap. Come on now. Like, that guy cannot lace Osimhen's boots. Talking about Hugo Ekitike. Like, let's be serious here. We can't compare that guy to Victor Osimhen. But because of Osimhen's wage demands, they are looking in other directions. Victor Gyökeres, who is scoring goals in Sporting, I don't think he's as good as Osimhen. But people will look at a player like that because, one is European and two, his demands are lower. So again, I say, Osimhen, you are within your rights to demand for whatever you think you deserve. But I feel like if he ultimately, the way things are looking, if he ultimately wants to achieve that dream of playing in the English Premier League, there is a very, very good chance that he would have to lower the demands, unfortunately. Because nobody seems to be willing to pay that amount across Europe, not even just in the English Premier League, across Europe. Nobody is willing to pay him that amount. Napoli, they're trying to get him off the books as well because they know that they are paying him a very high amount of money. And the other part of the question, should he take a move to Saudi Arabia? Smedlai, I have to be on the same page with you. If Osimhen goes to Saudi at this point, it's his life, it's his future, it's his family, it's his generational wealth. But from a football fan's point of view, knowing the kind of potential that Osimhen has, knowing how great Osimhen can be, a move to Saudi right now will be disappointing. A move to Saudi right now will be underwhelming. Even more underwhelming than this move to Galatasaray. No matter how anybody wants to paint it, this move to Galatasaray was not what Osimhen was hoping or supposed to. He has done well there and we're happy about it. But for him to now go from winning Scudetto at Napoli to Turkey to Saudi, it will just be as if his career is going on a downward trajectory. And that's not what we want for our best player and for our superstar player. So I would hope that either somebody agrees to pay him what he wants or he decides to negotiate a way that he can accept lower and maybe find incentives to still get him to where he wants to get to in terms of money that hits his bank account. But it's a very tricky one. It's a very tricky one. Um, all in all, Sha, Osimhen and his agents know what they feel is best for him. I just don't want to see him playing in another low division next season. 2 seasons in low division is not what helps you get into the best in the world conversation. People are still interested in him because they know he's a quality player. So many people are thinking about their financial, the financial aspects of things. Clubs are being more careful now. The ones that can afford him, they're trying not to overpay. So it's just very, very tough, man. It's very tough. It's very tough. I know some people will hear this and say, why are you saying that Nigerian man should not stay? They should not pay him this, they should not pay him that. I just try to be realistic. I love Osimhen. I think he's top two strikers in the world right now. But it's hard for me to look at the trend of things, look at the history, look at the track record of other players, and just say that, oh, pay him this 500K or nothing. It's hard for me to say it. Especially if a player like Mo Salah is only on 400. Like, let's be realistic. You might want to argue that Osimhen is better than Salah. Fine, it's up for debate. But if we look at track record, Salah is on the older side now. Salah has been there, done that for many years. His career has surpassed Osimhen's career. Let's be realistic with ourselves. And even he is not commanding that kind of money yet. Salah too is an African. So it's not as if maybe I'm saying that because he's a European. Salah too is an African. He has done it for many years. His career surpassed Osimhen's career. He has not yet reached that kind of money. I don't know, Sha. I don't know. I know that Nigerians, we love him so much. So we are always going to be on his side. But man, Osimhen has a big decision to make. He has a big decision to make. Okay. Smilai, anything you want to add on Victor Osimhen before we
I nearly fall down my body when you are about because people will come for you, people will come for you that you go tell them about those players' life and things like that. And at the end of the day, if Victor Osimhen was injured, would you go and talking about Victor Osimhen every day? So, everything stops, with Victor Osimhen. I start with Victor Osimhen. So for me, I think he's the one that tend to actually want to know exactly what is best for him. I know that when you are here now, there's so many aunties and uncles that will advising you. But the way I know Victor, he's a strong head. If you like advice from now to tomorrow, I know what we're advising him now. Talking on the podcast, advising him like a big brother. If while I come now, you go say for me, I just think that Victor still have a lot of business to do in Europe. Victor have not even played well in Champions League. Victor needs to like dictate champions. Victor needs to like do some other things in Europe. He's one of the best players that might go, in our history. You know. So for me, I don't know the reason why these Saudi people they just come as African heritage to come and be pushing money.
I know that it's important to us.
They don't go to Ireland. They don't go to this thing. Money, money, money. When they see Brazilian, when they see Africa, money, 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 sorry. So for me, I just think that it should stay in Europe, and I hope that it can actually listen to us. I just think that it's going to benefit Super Eagles.
And I mean, it's so funny because trust me, I have seen a contract offer that a Saudi club sent to a Nigerian player. I've actually seen the documents before. It's been like, if they offer any of us that are on this live right now, that those kind of terms, like, it's so hard to not accept it. Honestly, it is so hard. From the money, they will give you a house, they will give you a car, they will give you five flights for anybody that you want to invite to Saudi 5 times a year. Return ticket for either maybe your friend, your family, your babe, whoever you want to just fly to Saudi and back. They will give you that. They, like accommodation for your people. Like, it is so tasty. Because that player that showed me the contract, I was even saying, I beg, oh yeah, when you take your this thing, one of those your flights is for me. I just know say one of those flights now for me to come because the package is so sweet. But it's just that for a player like Osimhen that has huge potential, not only on the field but also off the field. Playing in England opens you up to different marketing opportunities, sponsorships, brand deals, all those kind of things. I think that money he can make it off the field to up whatever he's making on the field if he markets and does his branding properly. So for me,
Mhm.
I would say negotiate a little bit more, but don't let it be like last year that you negotiated, and you ended up in Turkey. Because even Galatasaray cannot pay that salary again for another season. So, and
No.
Napoli don't want you anymore. They are about to potentially
Mhm.
win the league without you. So, they really, it's just a tough situation. I hope that everything works out well for him.